Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Silvercrow and today I'm making a tutorial about the OBS settings for lower NPC. So if you have a lower NPC, at first I'm gonna say you should start with OBS Studio instead of Streamlabs. I think it's much more stable, easy to use, and yeah, also these settings I'm not only gonna give you some just basic settings for any games. I'm going to show you how you're gonna change your OBS settings according to the game you're going to play. So first of all, you go to the settings, you go to streams, it's all general streams, it's all the same. When it comes to output, if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, I highly recommend use it. If you don't have an NVIDIA, let's start with your CPU, which is software X264. So I'm assuming you at least have 3 Mbps internet speed, otherwise I don't think it's recommended to stream either. So let's say if you have 3 Mbps, at least 3 Mbps, and you're gonna put the bitrate to 1800, let's say 1800, and audio bitrate to 96, and yeah, output mode should be simple. I guess it can stay simple, but if you want to go advanced, let's show you that. Make it 1600 CBR, obviously 64 in. Make sure it's on super fast. Profile and tune, I don't recommend changing anything, and press apply. And then go to audio. Audio is the same. For video, make sure this is 480, and by linear, make sure the FPS is also 30. Nothing much to do on the advanced setting, but make sure, I think, make it to the Ethernet. If you have your actual IP instead of default, put it like bind it to your IP. That will be much more helpful. So just to revise everything, X264, CBR, bitrate is 1600, key interval you can put it to auto or you can put it to 2, but I kind of recommend to do it 0. I mean, it doesn't matter much, but don't make it like 15 or 20, or don't go for crazy. And CPU usage is super fast. If you can handle very fast, that's awesome, but super fast will be better, I guess. It will have like 30 FPS stable, so that will help. So that is for if you have a CPU and don't have an NVIDIA graphics card. I'm going to show you how you're going to change the settings according to the game. Let's start with after that, let's go with NVIDIA graphics card. Put it to advanced. If you want, you can put it simple as you want, but I recommend go to simple, because OBS actually if you do it according to simple, if you put output mode to simple, it doesn't make much changes. Actually, it's much more easier. So if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, your bitrate has to be like 2000, sorry for that, at least 2000, and your change to NVIDIA. Then if you can handle 128, you can go for it. If you can't, go for 96. Don't go lower than that. And pretty much done here. You can put it to 720p. I'm going to show you how you're going to do 720p. Then everything is the same. Now the main thing, you can change your settings according to the game. First, go to your task manager, then performance, then your GPU. So put it right here. Then you're going to play the game. Let's say I'm playing World of Warcraft. As you can see, the GPU meter is 66, 64. It's gonna change according to what you do right here. So on the right side you can see your GPU usage, and the left side you're playing. Seems like the everything is stable, isn't it? So you go to system. First of all, make sure your game's FPS is 30. If it goes to 60, let's say make it 60 or 63, it goes 84, even 100, it will spike a little. Let's see, it's still 100. You are still having a like really good FPS. It's still stable to 60, but your GPU is higher. So if you're using your GPU for encoding, let's see, this is the 3D graph and this is the video encoding graph. So I'm using like 12% for streaming, and around 55 it's going down because I'm not doing anything. If I move, let me see again, If you move, it will go even higher. So the rule is, if this 3D meter goes around 100 or 90, your stream will lag. And video encoding and 3D is different. They are in the different layers, but whenever it goes like 90% on 3D, your stream will lag. So no matter if you put it to like 720p with 60 fps, it will go to like 20% on encoding. So it doesn't matter, it's not 100% on video encoding, but there is some technical reason, I guess. If it goes to 90% of your 3D, your stream will usually lag. So in order to keep that lower than 90%, you have to put your graphics settings a little bit lower and obviously put the FPS to 30. It will lower everything when it comes to GPU usages. As you can see, it's now 50. It will probably spike to 60, but it doesn't matter. Make sure it's on like 70 to 80, like 85 highest. That's the healthy way to keep it. You play your game and put the task manager on your right. You make the settings I have recommended and test the game like this. And if you think your PC can handle 40 fps, go for 40. If you can handle 50, you can go for 50, but make sure it's below 80% or 90%. The other settings, such as the texture, can be fair. Everything can be on like medium to lower if you can. But if you're playing like games like Overwatch and like any other higher quality games, higher graphic games, make sure it's on low if you're using GPU. But if you're using your CPU, I think you can go for a little bit higher on the graphics. You can make also one more thing I really forgot. Make sure if you're using GPU, make sure the resolution is 720. You're streaming on 720p. If your game is on 720, I guess that makes sense. But still, if you have lower resolution, then you will have like lower on the GPU stress. The usage will be like 50 to 70, but if you make it like 1600 to 900 or even higher, or like even 1366, it will go high. So make sure it's 720p and FPS to 30, shadows off or like low, and you can put the texture to medium in like most of the games. But for CPU, you can make the resolution higher. You can put up the graphics a little bit high because it stresses your GPU, not CPU mostly. But for CPU, make sure the view distance or details or ground texture, whatever it is, make sure it's lower. For GPU, the distance should be lower. For CPU, I'm sorry. For CPU, the distance would be lower. The graphics can be medium. But for GPU, the graphics will be lower. FPS will be 30. The resolution will be low. This is how you're gonna check your OBS settings for different games. So thank you so much for watching the video. If you want to know, like, if you wanna know about like different settings for different games, make sure you put your PC spec and game on the description, not description, in the comment section below, and I can suggest you what settings you should go for your OBS studio. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon. Have a nice day.